One of the most interesting phenomena about being a human being is that we can know certain things with absolute clarity of thought and yet never really feel them, never relate to them. One such issue is seeing my death. I could relate to you the statistical odds of a man my age, my health, dying. I could relate to you the fact that no human being lives forever, and while cognitively, intellectually I understand that, in my emotional realm it just isn't there. The Chofetz Chaim explains to us that each person feels there's a certain segment of society, a certain group of people who die. The older people, the sick people, the unfortunate people, a certain segment of society belong to that. I'm not a member. And this reality is something I got a chance to see very clearly when I visited my grandmother. My grandmother was a woman well in her 80s. Once a week during the summer I would come to visit her. I remember one summer sitting there with people all of our age who were sitting around talking, and the conversation changed when someone said something about Nebuch so-and-so died. Another man in the circle said, "Oi, Nebuch, the old people are dying." And I looked around the circle. There wasn't a man or a woman there under 80. These were all grandparents, great-grandparents, well advanced in their age, talking about Nebuch, the older people dying. And this is a reality that we human beings never see our Yom HaMisa, never see our death, and the reason for it is quite clear. If I were ever able to see that palpably, visibly, right in front of me, I would lose free will. Why? Because then I would understand the effects of my action. I would then relate to the fact that I have a future ahead of me, not in this world, but in eternity, and I would relate dramatically to the effects of my actions, my words, my thoughts that they have on me. If I were to clearly see my Yom HaMisa, see my death, I would effectively lose free will. I'd be akin to a malach. Much like an angel doesn't practically have free will because it sees the damage wrought by any sin, so too I would effectively lose my free will because I'd understand I will live forever, and forever I will be that which I shape myself into. While these thoughts are not always pleasant, one of the most powerful thoughts a human being can ever think about is understanding his mortality. Going to a shiva house, going to a funeral, going to a cemetery is a very, very effective way of learning to relate to these concepts. When a person does it, it's not depressing, it's empowering, it's invigorating, because it's one of the most driving forces in the human, understanding that I will live forever and understanding the impact that my actions have on who I will be in that position.